Okay, testing, testing. Yeah, it's this one. All right, so we're on here. Remember, I got a new PC to replace my new PC. So that's what's going on. So I've had to bring software over. Yeah, you should hear sound now, right? In sooth, I know not why I am so sad. So apparently this hasn't converted properly. But we can live with that. I guess I can fix with it. So, 3, 2, 1, hit it! Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of it. Wow, I got another Norton antivirus. And yet another one. Wow, dude, I deleted it and it's spazzing out on me. Now I got a total unload. Oh my God. It's going to be a problem, I think. All right, so anyways, let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results, but you still need to be small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. So let's, yeah, it seems to be very similar. Here we are. Good morning, how are you? Comment allez-vous? Guess I got to move the camera a little bit. Huh? It's a little better. So, good morning. How's that? A little better? All right, so anyways, good morning, everybody. My name is Wayne McDonald. Good to see you. I'm a foreign exchange trader just like you. You and I are similar. I might just be a few years ahead, so I learned a few things along the way. Good, bad, and the ugly, so I'm willing to share. The good people at Traders Way think this might actually be able to help you become a better trader. And if so, you'd be a better customer because you would be successful as a trader and making money every day and trading every day. And they want to execute your trades. So anyways, thank you very much to Traders Way for sponsoring our community. Forex.Today now has, what is it, 15,400 people? I'm getting more messages from Norton. Anyways, cool. So anyways, 15,000 people get together at the Forex.Today YouTube channel every single day. And what we like to do is cover technical and fundamental analysis, trader psychology, and essentially I try to answer your questions. So this is an opportunity for you to get involved and take notes, perhaps look at my analysis and compare it to your own analysis. I'm not going to put you into trades. I'd never belittle you like that. I respect you too much. However, maybe after you have a plan, you can show up to these webinars and say, hey, can you cover euro dollar, and then see what I look at versus what you look at and compare your notes and compare and contrast. If it was college, your professor would certainly say, write a paper and compare and contrast the two. That's the idea. Okay? So thank you very much for subscribing and liking and commenting and all that kind of stuff. You know, maybe I'm just too close to the computer. Let's see if I can move my keyboard. So, thank you very much for liking and commenting and everything that you do. I know you try hard, and I appreciate your efforts. And I know if you have a half a brain and a ridiculous, sickening work ethic, you can become a profitable Forex trader. So maybe we can go on this journey together. Okay, I'm going to pop the chat now because there's too many windows open. Pop chat. Oh, it doesn't let me pop the chat. Okay, oh, I know why. Okay, I got to go over here now. So complicated to run a stream. Now I'm going to pop the chat from here. Pop chat. There we go. Okie dokie. I think I got this under control. I'll probably need to get my drawing tool at some point. All right, so what would you like me to cover? US dollar, Bitcoin, gold, oil, silver, natural gas, euro, pound, US dollar, Kiwi dollar, yen. Oh, Johnny's right there. Yen. Let me know how it can help. All yen pairs. Ooh, now it says McAfee. All right, so I really have a problem here. I think I got some malware pre-installed. I'm getting like messages and messages and pop-ups and pop-ups and pop-ups. Did it put it in as a browser extension? Hang on. Where would I find extensions? More tools. Extensions. Cisco. No. Hangouts. No. Anyways, I'm gonna have to figure this out. I'm getting pop-ups like crazy. Okay. Oh, that's seasonality. It's just seasonality. All right. Yeah, but so Pompo says Abe stepping down. Dude, that's so last week. So yeah, anyway, so let's move over to yens. Sorry for the distraction. I'm getting all these pop-ups. Oh, I just got another pop-up. I mean, like crazy. I'm getting pop-ups every 30 seconds. So I wonder how many pop-ups I can collect over the next hour. All right. So anyways, let's take a look at the yen pairs. I have to go to the toolbars here. Toolbars, customize, and I want to add the shape. So I'm going to add the rectangle. Well, what stuff do I not need? I don't need arrows. So remove Fibonacci, equidistant channel. I don't really care about that. Trend line, horizontal line, vertical line. All those are good. Crosshair, good, good, good. Boom. See, we're slowly going to customize and get everything set up. Okay, so I don't like that color. So I go to rectangle properties. I change this to what I like. Silver is usually pretty good. Silver is right here, I believe. Cool. Okay. Great. Cool. Is this a new laptop? It's a PC. It's actually a machine. So I just installed these templates this morning, like an hour and a half ago. So literally, I went to Traders Way, downloaded MT4, then I went to metatraders.com, and this is the $5 toolkit that I've installed, and installed all this. Look how clean my profiles are, and the templates, and it's beautiful. That's why I built it. It's amazing how awesome that was. I mean, literally, I downloaded MT4 an hour ago, and it went pop and snapped all my charts and profiles and templates and everything in there. Certainly worth $5. So anyways, let's take a look at this. This is where we are. Okay, this is Aussie yen. No watermark on this. It's amazing that there's no watermark. So I'll have to do that some other time. Let me get my drawing tool. Oh, it's on the other machine. Gee whiz, I don't have the drawing tool. All right, I'll do that later. So what we're looking at here, and this is not going to be right either. Okay, let me open this up. Trendline properties. I like these to be fat, and I have to turn off the ray. Sorry, Ray. Okay, cool. So this is the buy zone. See? There was a Friday front run and done. That's it. So think of it this way, right? You had your breakout, you know the role reversal. So you got to have your eyes on the prize. You know your role reversal, so you buy the dip into the gray zone. Okay? See? And it's also, I mean, it's not now, but in the future, it'll be a 4-hour 21. It also was a front run off the central. Okay? So once again, I think if you had a bias, it's a pretty easy trade. Okay? And so off she goes. So I personally, I don't think there's anything you can do right now on this trade except take profit or short. And shorting is a high risk endeavor. So I don't think I would short. So the only thing you could really think of doing now in the next hour or two is take profit. Okay? Or, of course, the other thing to do is not do anything. So far I have 3 pop-ups in the last 5 minutes, 3 minutes. Amazing. So that's that. That's just where we are on the ends. Okay. I'll show you if you go to the indicator list. There's your monthly. Now you got to go into weekly. Okay. And we're elevated here on the weekly, 4 hour out of position. I mean, there's just really nothing you can do now. If you haven't done it, like that's the big question. Yeah, there's just nothing kind of left for you to do on this. And basically, I guess I should say there's nothing left for you to do today. And it really comes down to, do you get a pullback for tomorrow? So let it break through 78, have it go to 78.50 or 40, and then have it come back down to 78. You buy a dip tomorrow? What do you guys think? Something like this? Right? Gary says hold to 79. What's special about 79? $79.63 is the minimum target, and 80 is more likely. But if I were holding, I'd probably be going for a lot more than that. Okay. I don't think I'd be going for 80. I'd be going for 90. Emil says monthly M3. I have monthly M3 as 78. We're on top of that now. Oh, for the weekly swing. Yeah, I'm not really a weekly swing. Yeah, it's just not enough pips. It's only 200 pips. It's not big enough. But I'd pay attention to it there for sure. But I'm going for bigger if I can. I'm going to try to go for bigger. So I'm not even thinking. So like, for example, what we're supposed to be talking about is having it go to 80 in September as a monthly target. But I think as a monthly target, this goes to 82, not even 80. So I'm thinking about blowing the September monthly pivots out the door. Like right? I'm thinking bigger than that. And if you're thinking 82, why not 85? Yeah. Okay. Well, no, like Gary's not wrong for sure, because there's still a lot of risk that just this goes up and then comes all the way back. Like you should never be certain, but I'm still thinking it. I'm going to still try, but I'm going to adapt as we go. Okay. So if I adapt here at the monthly M3, because I know if a bear was going to sell, they were going to show up now, right? Or if they don't show up here, they're going to show up over there. So I already kind of have a plan A and plan B where I'd be ambushed. I have an idea where bears would ambush me. I just don't think they have the guts. I will find out shortly, but I'm not frightened at this point. But if it was going to be challenged, it would be here. So I think I think we're going to be at 79 and change pretty quickly. Like even maybe today. Okay. Okay. Derek asked a question, why is the US dollar weak since last week? No, it's been weak for a lot longer than last week. Okay. So if you go way back to here, Derek, somewhere in here, the Fed changed their policy. And I told everyone I'd be short the US dollar for at least 5 years. So it's not last week. But Powell did speak last week and reaffirm. By the way, I did see a couple of things here and there. I don't really read newspapers and watch TV, so I can't remember where. But I hear people, like the media, explain what Powell said, and they don't get it completely. They don't, and I think they're analyzing what other people have said. So I think they have sort of a small view from some economist, but they don't. It's not reported correctly. Okay, and what Powell was saying is that the 2% target is a dynamic target. And to get 2%, they'll probably allow for 3% inflation. That's what it means. Like, and I think last week I even drew expected inflation or potential inflation versus expected and when the crossover happens and all that kind of stuff. So I don't need to do it again, but I just want you to understand is what he's saying is that before the Fed really starts to raise interest rates, inflation will be higher than 2%. Which just backs up my point of view of, I'm going to be short US dollar for a very, very long time. June says, we don't have factual media. I didn't mean that they're not factual. I mean they don't understand fully. So sorry guys, I don't have watermark on this one. That's why they're not popping up. So I have to download the other package. Okay, so it's just like I'll give you another example. When I think it was my first time in the Bloomberg studios, they were giving me a tour around, and Sarah Eisen was there. She's at CNBC now, but she's cool, by the way. And I'm getting this tour around and various parts of the studio and the resources that they have at Bloomberg. But then we went to the producer's desk in the middle, not a windowed office, but just sort of in the middle of the building somewhere, be in a cubicle. And she just had a stack of Forex books, like stack of them. I'm like 6 or 7 books on Forex. And clearly someone came along and said, all right, you're covering Forex. And all of a sudden, a journalism major is covering Forex. So when you hear people covering what Jay Powell just said, they might be 20 years old, straight out of journalism school, and then they talk to some economist, and what did Jay Powell just say? And they jot down some basics, but I don't think, like, they don't quite get it, but it's reported. And honestly, for most people, it doesn't even matter. Okay. But this is something I'm a stickler for it because it's what I am, right? It's not that they're unqualified. It's just how it is. Javier said, didn't she write a book on Forex? What, the producer or Sarah Eisen? I don't know about Sarah Eisen. She's not really a Forex person, but anyways. She could have read all those books and then just write her own book. That's how most people become authors, right? Really? I'd have to look at that. I'm telling you, she's actually quite cool. She really likes what she does. I can tell you that because, I'm not talking about like I sat with her in the studio. No, we were walking around the buildings and stuff like that. And we're just shooting the breeze. And she's like, you got to see this smile chart I printed out. And she printed this thing out and she was getting all excited about 3D charting and stuff like that. She's just totally into it. Like really likes markets, likes trading. But she covers it, right? So I don't know if she actually trades, but she digs it. All right. So yeah, let's just leave it at that. I think I can be challenged here, but right now I'm not afraid. Right now, I think what it's going to do is, well, trade OOP. So we know the rules of engagement for that, right? So we're assuming now that this 4-hour 21 is going to continue to hold. It's going to move up and to the left. So I'm going to guess right there. And like I said, today or tomorrow will probably be way up here. And that's where, so, this is basically what Gary's saying, right? All right, so yeah, that's true. And that would be up here, a place where maybe I take profit, but it's not a target. It's where risk might increase. So I have to decide, do I leave my trades open and my stops far because I expect to be long in this till the end of the year? Yeah, I might try that. Depends on how it behaves. But, I've also been in scenarios where September opens hot and fast, and then we do 100% full Monty reversal, and we're all the way back at 75, and then we start the upward move. And remember, this is a political year 4 in an 8-year political cycle, and that adds another level of uncertainty to our trade, our setup, so to speak. So I gotta be careful is all I'm saying, right? Yeah, Daniel says they literally tell you, especially in the minutes. Yeah, of course. I like the minutes because they tell you that what they discussed. It tells you what's on their mind. Because I'm trying to figure out not what they just did, but what they're going to do in the next 2 or 3 meetings. That's where the money is made. Okay? Right? So remember, we're trying to remove the ego from this, from trading, right? Not emotion. Emotion, it tells you when there's something wrong. But we're trying to remove the ego from the trade and see reality. Okay? And that is a very difficult thing. So I understand what I'm trying to do, but if you're certain you're right, that's another level of risk because you're certain you're right. You're going to discount warnings, if you will, or obvious evidence. You will discount it and ignore the fact that you actually have a pretty decent probability of being wrong. And that's where mistakes can lie. Okay? It's sort of like overconfidence. But overconfident to the point where you're getting your butt whooped and you still don't adapt because you're certain you're going to win anyways. Okay? So what I'm saying is I know what I have set. And yes, it is based on what I learned by analyzing the Fed. Okay? I've done my research. And I told you the exact day when I made my decision and why. So, and I'm cool with that. And then, a week ago, we actually read the meeting minutes together, and I reaffirmed, and I even acknowledged that I might be discounting a little bit, so I got to be careful. But generally speaking, it seems like the Fed is still thinking the way that I'm trading, which is important. Then Jay Powell has come out, and what Jay Powell said last week, again, I hear in the media that it's a new policy. It's not a new policy. And that's the problem where I get upset with the media, because if you listen to anybody from the Fed, including Jay Powell and a couple of other speakers, I think I listened to Mr. lately, and what's the guy's name in Texas, the Dallas Fed? I listened to an interview with him recently after the Jay Powell thing, right? Because this is what I do. I do my homework. So I forget his name now. Kaplan, is it? So I think it's Kaplan. So anyway, so Kaplan even reiterated, it's not a new Fed policy. So it's amazing that reporters that cover central banking, monetary policy, and the Fed, they come out and they're like, this is new policy from the Fed. It's not a new policy from the Fed. They're explaining sort of what the Fed has been doing all along over the last, let's say, since Jay Powell, since Bernanke. But it's not a new policy. It's a flex in the methodology, right? It's not a change. They haven't changed anything. And all that he explained is they're not targeting 2% per se. They're looking at an average. So if we're below average now, then by definition, we have to go above average, which means we probably will hit 3% inflation well before the Fed raises interest rates. And so it's amazing to me how wrong it's misreported. And it's because, well, quite frankly, they don't have a macroeconomics degree from Harvard. I don't know any other way to say it because it's misreported and wrong. I do the homework. And so I know Jay Powell has said it. This is not a change in policy. I know Kaplan has said this is not a change in policy. And I'm pretty sure Mister's a lady, by the way. She said it's not a change in policy. It's not a change in policy. So then all of a sudden in the news, they're like, this is a massive change in policy at the Fed. What does it mean? Oh, my God. And then, of course, talking heads debate. But they're debating something that's fallacious. So it's amazing. So anyways, right now I'm still doing what I've been doing because I don't think anything's changed. There is no new policy since the last one. Amazing though, right? All right, so I need to be cognizant of I am currently right, but that can change. Cool. So that's Aussie yen, as you can see here, as you can see here, as you can see here, and I think that's it. This machine doesn't have a watermark installed. I'll do that today. Okay. I installed these chart templates literally an hour ago. So this one, I only have the $5 kit here. All right, Euro Yen. This was one of two trades yesterday. By the way, did you guys catch the off the charts with Wayne? How many people were there yesterday as the market opened? Well, Daniel says, so the solution, throw the TV out the window. The solution is do your own work. The solution, Daniel, is when I said I listened to an interview from Kaplan, head of the Dallas Federal Reserve Bank, that is what made me smart. Not that I threw the TV out, that I did more work than the reporters reporting. And it's their damn job. But they only make 50 grand, 60 grand a year, so who cares? No, FT9, I created a new stream, right? So there's It was over an hour. Cool. So one of the things we talked about, by the way, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's youtube.com/FXBootcamp. And please subscribe as well. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. Okay. So one of the things we talked about there is, and we were like in this little square. There was an opportunity, a swing long, sweet chariot, right? So there you go. Now KG says double top here, only if you're a bear. Okay. A bull's got their stop at break even, so a bull's probably got it about here. I thought I set this up already. No, Ray. Okay. So a bull's got their stop here, or they really like the trade and they're willing to risk a few pips and the stop is there. But what I'm trying to tell you is the stop isn't way down here at 24.5. You've moved it to break even or near to break even, right? Depending on your conviction. So let's just say it's at BE. It's like -3. So a bear's going to sell here. Yeah. But if you're a bull, you're done. What if it collapses here? Who cares? You've already moved on to another trade. You did your research. You did your homework. You waited for the setup. You're in this for weeks, maybe months. And yeah, it might fall at this M3. Yeah, if it does, you'll lose nothing. But you have an opportunity. But if you're going to take it so you can make a lousy 100 pips, then that's your call, brother. Okay? But see, if you had simply did your job, either you caught the Friday front run or you did the Sunday open, easy 100 pips in your pocket. Some of you guys work really hard for 100 pips. Right? A swing trader is moving their stop to break even and say, oh, good start. Hope it makes it through the M3. Okay? But KG's like double top here, only if you're a bear. And if you were a bear, that is definitely a good place for it to be there, right? For sure. Okay? For sure, that would be the place. Okay? Okay? And you would actually call it more like triple top. Oh, for sure, eh? So it depends on what you're playing. How many people are in my live Thursday War Room group? Who's in my Thursday afternoon War Room group setting up Friday front runs? What moving average on the daily chart did I spend probably an hour drilling into you? Okay. So I point out, here it is. Look, nothing happened for days. Up, don't wait for the 21, 21, 20, 21, gone. Yeah, boy! Huh? That 21 is acting as a base. How high can you go? So, yeah. So the question now is, are you going to treat it like a range? Or have you already assumed the break? So as a bull, and everybody knows here that I'm a bull, right? You buy low, you take it to the top, but my analysis, my longer term analysis, suggests we're going higher than weekly M3 or monthly M3. Okay? You're 1 in a million, baby. You're a shooting star. Yeah. Okay? So, like I was saying, at this point, if I were me, I would move a stop and let it run. And if it comes all the way down, collapses, if it bounces at this 25 and change, if it bounces around 25, I'll take another shot. You see what I mean? So, good thing we talked about it on this red candle, or sorry, this green candle, right? We talked about it in here on Thursday, the importance of that. So, of course, we had it in a bigger context, so you'd have to be there to understand. But the whole basis was the importance of this. Right? And since I can see your face, some of you guys just went, I can't believe I didn't. Right? Like it was a reminder wake-up call, right? Daniel says, do you have alerts set up to catch these? No. I know exactly when it's going to happen, right? So I know when to be at the chart. Okay? So, right? So I was doing my live webinar right in here. Okay? And I usually do it around 5:15 to 5:30 because I'm already done for the week. And so we were talking about this setup. A bunch of others didn't. One other did set up. Okay? But do I use alarms like the way you're talking about it? No. But I use my phone and my calendar. So I say, oh, look, it's 4:45. I'm going to go down to the office. So like, let's put it, right? So here's mine. The market opened, okay? And I bought it. Actually, I bought it here. Gotta be careful. The market opened and I bought it here. Okay. See? I knew what I wanted to do. I love the fact this was coming down Friday. Love it. Love it. Love, 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 love it. Cool. Mine. Okay. Okay. So we'll see if it can go further up. We're already through 81. We're already through the M3. Okay. Do I need a special type account to be able to see the broker's COT sheet? I don't trade that way, Media Group. So, but I don't. This is a clean machine, so I don't have that installed. But even then, I don't. It's not how I trade. Okay, I don't need to see orders on a ladder because I already know. I mean, look, guys, think of it. Let's say you've been trading for 10 or 15 years. Okay? Let's just say you know what you're doing. As a bull, if I gave you a chart, because it's the same, like if you're buying euro dollar or selling USD CAD, it's the same thing, right? Buying euro dollar means you're selling the dollar to buy euro. Selling USD CAD is you're selling the US dollar to buy CAD. Either way, you're selling US dollar. So you know how to be a bull or a bear. So you should look at your charts and you should just know, based on the context, where bulls are going to buy and where bears are going to sell. And then your trend analysis, so you just look back and say, well, I think there's a lot of bullish conviction here, so I think we're going to break through M3 because there's just not enough bears. There's just more bulls and bears. So, right, like you should be, it's all there. Like, do you need an order ladder to tell you that there's going to be some bears there? Why? Or up higher, right? How about around 82? You think there's some bears there? Oh, yeah. But I don't need a ladder. I mean, because, right? So a bear is going to try to treat that as a double top. And this is trickier for a bear because it's really bullish profit taking. So this would be actually a bear selling. And this would actually just be bull's profit taking. And so you should also understand that, where a bull would take profit. And then, of course, there's going to be red candles like we had here, but it's not based on bear selling. It's about bulls taking profit. So bulls are going to buy back at the next level of support. Right? So do you need a price ladder? No, if you know how to trade, because you would think of it. If I was a bear, that's what I would do. Okay? Okay. Do bankers use pivot points? Bankers don't trade. So if a client says, move $1 million to my European account in euros, they convert it and move it. That's what a banker does. Okay. So there's that. So whatever. This is out of position. This is out of position. So you guys should know how to trade that already. And if you don't, you need the course. So it's going to be up to you. This one had a bit of a Friday front run. This was harder to catch, right? You see the nice little Friday front run here? You wouldn't have got it Sunday, but you got it Friday. Okay. Aggressive entry, of course, but not terribly complicated. You bought a retracement back to 40. This was actually one I did on Friday, wasn't it? I'm like, hey, do you think people will buy a breakout and pull back, right? And buy it at 140, right? I think I think I even typed it and stuff for you guys. Like so either you did it or you didn't do it. I mean, come on. Yeah. So whatever. You did it or you didn't do it. We can take a look at some dollar pairs, obviously. Let's do that now. You missed to buy 1 pip. Yeah, we'll stop doing, right? Stop throwing down orders like that. Just do it. Oh, did we do it in the war room? Okay. Interesting. All right. Let's take a look at this. Pound dollar out of position. Definitely got some challenge there. Okay. So I would still take a look at keeping above $1.32. I don't think I'd fib this, so I think it's going to need a pretty decent pullback here. Okay. It's just too far too fast. Okay. Euro dollar was a laggard. If you recall, it was a couple of days slow. We had set the bullish move quite earlier, but this whole period was a bit slow. You should have it marked anyway, so I'm going to mark it. Of course, the pivots actually do it, right? So do you think it's a coincidence that this S1 is right in this area? No, it's actually what the math is doing. So once again, I don't know how many times I've done it. 50 times? How many times have I explained the math behind pivot points so that you can understand what they're actually doing? I mean, this is looking at, right? This area is looking at that going, yeah, that's support. Really? That's the support pivot. Right? You're like, really? That's support? Yeah. Uh-huh. So that's the math. Okay. So, but what I'm saying is this is a laggard and it hasn't even broken out quite yet. So that concerns me when it comes to the dollar. Taking a look at CAD. CAD is Oscar Mike, and this is just crazy awesome. Stupid awesome. But remember, 2 weeks ago, we were talking about supply normalization and demand creation in the supply and demand equation for oil inventories and how that could possibly translate to Canadian dollar strength. Right? Okay. Hard to catch for sure. You can see the 21 has been in control for quite some time. Not, sorry, the 55, which if you change the time frame is here, right? So it's hard to catch, except it's simply riding the 21. Okay. Down, 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 up, up, sell, down, 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 up, sell, down, 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 right? So you got to find the time frame that it's working on, that people are trading it on. Okay. So it's out of position here. There was a quick central pivot point play off the daily 21, monthly central. So like what happened last month, right? Let me zoom in. What happened last month? It sold off the central, and because of that, the target is S2. And look, for almost a week and a half, 2 weeks, we were hung up here and then took off. Hard to catch for sure, but it's moving on big macro plays, right? Big macro plays, which is good. That's what it's supposed to be doing, right? This is big macro commodity plays. This is a little bit of China. This is a little bit of Canada. This is a little bit of oil. This is a little bit of gold. There's a lot tied up into this. And that's why the moves are bigger, right? So now you have to tie in sort of your aggressiveness and the timing of things. So you could look at it and say, well, 3 days ago, you'd sell it off the pivots. 2 days ago, you would have sold it off the pivots. Today, you would have sold it off the pivots. And it's just very simply bearish, right? You guys know this. This is Thursday's sell zone. This is Friday's sell zone. This is today's sell zone. So all you had to do was be a bear and day trade it. And you know behind there's macro plays, right? So I can go here and give it cap locks on. Give it a few more days. Okay. And see how far back this goes. There's a sell zone. There's the sell zone. Here's the sell zone. Of course, it hit and flipped. That can happen. Here's the sell zone. No trade that day. All right. So anyways, no trade that day. A quick trade. You made money in the first 18 hours. Then it collapsed. Probably news related, right? And then sell zone, sell zone, sell zone, sell zone, zone. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row you would have made money. And the seventh day before that, there wasn't even an entry because it was OP. Rookie Trader says, I don't see any USD strength considering the situation in the USA. What situation? Daniel wants some homework. Okay. Daniel, identify the voting members of the FOMC, including the participants of the Board of Governors, right? Identify their names, where they're from, and whether what their economic personality is. Are they dovish? Are they hawkish? Or are they neutral? I want you to say the difference between Jay Powell, Kaplan, and Mr., for example. Okay? So, for example, where did Jay Powell go to school? You guys know? It's not hard. Same place Bernanke got his degree. His thesis was entitled South Africa, Forces for Change. Huh. He worked at the Carlyle Group. You know the Carlyle Group, don't you? He ran a hedge fund. Focused on special finance and opportunistic investments. He was a managing partner of a global environmental fund, a private equity fund, a venture capital firm. Huh? Come on, dude. You got to know this guy. Oh, he's just some dude on TV. Dude, he's a Wall Street killer. Robert Kaplan, President and CEO, Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas. Oh, look, he's a senior associate dean at the Harvard Business School, professor of management. By the way, Harvard is the best in the world when it comes to management, right? So I have a management degree. I'm not just saying that, but like if you want to become a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, you should probably have a Harvard degree in management, and that's typically what it is, right? Look at this. Oh, he used to work at Goldman Sachs. Oh, for shizzle. So, okay. What does he have in common with Jay Powell? He served on boards of State Street, Harvard Management Company, Bed Bath & Beyond, Heinrich and Struggles. They're the advertising agency. He was a trustee of the Ford Foundation. Okay. Vice chairman of Goldman Sachs. Responsibility for investment banking and investment management. He became a partner in 1990 and co-chairman of the partnership committee. Another Wall Street a-hole. Okay? You should know this stuff, guys. So do you think Kaplan and Jay Powell generally agree with each other? Who's their opposite? How do they vote? He's the chairman of the Investment Advisory Committee at Google. Isn't that amazing? So these guys are making millions of dollars a year just sitting on boards. He's the author of several books, including What You Really Need to Lead, The Power of Thinking and Acting Like an Owner, like a boss. Okay? This guy's a smart dude. But nobody cares. You notice that? This guy's an interesting dude. And, right? What percentage of our industry, retail Forex, has read his books? So why don't we read a couple of his books? That's why I need 10,000 subscribers at youtube.com/FXBootcamp. Maybe we'll start a book club. Maybe we'll have Kaplan come in. Oh, Robert, Mr. Robert. So anyways, yeah, you should get to know these guys. How about Paul Tudor Jones? Well, he doesn't serve at the Fed. So anyways, you should know these things, right, guys? Jeff says, sounds like I'm jealous. You know, so someone else says here, who says it? Andre says, yes, it's true. They move the markets with their decisions. So if you're going to have a general idea of how the Fed will react to a situation, you should know the decision makers and how they tend to think. Do you think you'll be smarter than 95% of retail Forex traders if you knew the personalities on the board and how they lean based on your understanding of their life path and who they are, how they think, and what it is, what's in it for them? I say, well, he was only vice chairman of Goldman Sachs. I don't listen to any vice chairman. Right? Yeah. He sits on the board of the investing committee of Google. Nice. Yeah, he's another Wall Street a-hole. Yeah. Dude, this guy's making bank. Right? Other Fed people are rolling up to the Fed meeting in their Honda Accord, and he's got like a Bentley. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, you should get to know them. Okay, by the way, Daniel's going to give us a brief 20-minute presentation on Thursday at the War Room about what he discovers about the personalities of the Fed. KG's like, making bank, robbing America blind. Yeah, it's the American way, buddy. People complain about South Africa. Oh, the government's corrupt. Yeah, get in the government. Come on. Quit your bitching. You should be president. Yeah, you should. Why don't you run, right? Yeah, if you know it's working, get on board. Oh, is that right? Great video from 9 years ago, Wayne discussing why fundamentals and technical analysis are key in other parts of the day. Yeah, that sounds like every other Tuesday. Cool. Right on. Oh, look at that. I got to delete some of these. Remove profile, Euro. Remove profile. Frank. Remove profile and any other market overview. Remove profile. Is that it? Look how clean this is, huh? Gorgeous! Oh, it's lovely! It's gorgeous! Yeah. Cool, right? Best $5 ever. This used to be a bitch setting up your charts, I'm telling you. Where was my last? Did I save? Where's all my indicators? It actually solved a big problem for me. Cool. So that's that. Cool. Yeah. How many pips are in there? Almost 500 pips now since last week. Alejandro says, do you think the 2% average inflation target will bring wage growth? No. Wayne, have you finished Harvard now? Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. I'm expecting my degree to be in the mail. It's really weird. Like, I got no letter from my academic advisor, no email, nothing. It's just I didn't sign up for any more classes. I got my grades. I got my last semester. I got an A- in venture capital. Remember, the final exam was described as demoralizing. So I got an A- in that class. And my other one was in commercial real estate investing. I got an A. So that's that. And then I'm not signed up for any more classes. And there was no graduation. I mean, there was. They had one on the internet, but it was stupid. And so, yeah, I guess I get a degree in the mail. Isn't that funny? It's just like, yeah. So it's quite something. So I'm starting a new 5-year plan. That took me 5 years. So in fact, you know, I went to a concert recently with a friend I hadn't seen in years. And he said one time when he was at my house, we were, guess what, drinking scotch and smoking cigars. And he said, you were thinking about going back to college. And he said, but you didn't tell me it was Harvard. I'm like, well, and so my wife and I were talking about that. I'm like, you know what he said? He's like, that he didn't know it was Harvard. And she's really good with dates. And she's like, well, you hadn't set that up yet. So this really shows you like my thinking about 7 years ago. My young children, they would have been tiny little itty bitties in like early middle school, not even middle school. They were in elementary school. So 7 years ago, I don't know. They're probably, I'm guessing, they're like third grade. And here I am, I'm sitting thinking, how can I be a better parent? How can I teach them work ethic and sacrifice and really just success, the attitude of success? And I think about my own upbringing and my own management style and stuff. And I realize that I'm a big person of leading by example, right? This is why I do this every single day for almost 20 years. I'm here every day doing this damn webinar for you, right? For an hour and a half every single day for almost 20 years. And no one ever listens to my advice, but maybe you're like, you follow the action, if you will, right? So my thought process was, okay, I need to be an inspiration to my children, because I think no one actually listens. They observe. Don't do drugs. Okay, boom, heroin, right? So like, if I can't tell them, then I must do something. And it must be extraordinary. And so I'm like, what if I went back to school? It would take me years and years and years, and it'd take a lot of sacrifice and a lot of time. But while my children are learning how to do homework, I would be doing homework. Do you understand? Like that was literally, if I'm doing homework, the children have to do homework. And if they're on their phones playing video games and they come downstairs and I'm reading a textbook, or dad's locked in his office all weekend or on holidays writing papers, or on vacation at the beach at grandma's house and dad's working on papers or doing reading assignments or whatever. It's like relentless, over and over, relentless. Like dad's crazy, and maybe even dad's an a-hole because he spends all this time doing schoolwork. But I'm trying to say, well, that's what it takes. That's what it takes. It's what's required. And it's not like a speech. It's what was done. And they actually got to come to my graduation last year when I got my first degree. And we went through, and my daughter sat with my mother listening to the most powerful woman on earth speak about leadership. Right? Sat there with Angela Merkel. My daughter and my mother sitting there at my graduation in the middle of Harvard. Locked down, no one's out, you can't buy your way in, you can't get, like there it is. And like that was the motivation. So even back then, I'm like, how do I do that? And then somehow, she was actually great. Her speech was actually quite good. It starts out like, okay, she grew up in Eastern Europe, or Eastern Germany, blah, blah, blah. And then she got her PhD in nuclear chemistry and physics. And then, she got into politics. And then she became, chancellor, the longest serving chancellor of Germany in the history, and the de facto leader of Western Europe. You're like, yeah, okay, but besides that, what have you done? Right? So anyway, this all fits into like the plans. There are plans, right? And so what I was saying is I'm done that. I'm done. There's nothing more I could do except a PhD, but I don't want to do a PhD. And my kids, they got it. They get it. They get it now. Like they saw it. And when they're struggling with homework, I could literally say, I know what that's like. Or they're like, I think my teacher hates me and gives me bad grades. And I'm like, look, I know that happens. That happens, but here's how you handle it, right? All this kind of stuff. Been there, done that, and they know that. But now, and maybe they even expect to do something similar, right? So that 5-year plan is over. I think my kids are old enough now where if they go on to be drug addicts, it's not my damn fault. Right? That's that. And it only takes one shot of heroin and you're screwed for life, right? So if they make those decisions, it's not my fault, right? And I taught them how to think, I taught them how to act, and now they're on their own lives, so great. Now I just have to feed them and put clothes on them, get them through school and get them into a college, and I'm done, right? So now what do I do? What do I do now? And that's where I am in life. What do I do now? And I have this amazing vision, and you're with me on that journey. The next 5 years are going to be different from what we've been doing, and will require you to do a lot. Okay? If you're coming on this journey with me, you're going to have to do a lot over the next 5 years, but I will change your life if you decide to step up and do it. Then the 5 years after that changes again with you having true, real responsibility and like not just responsibility, but like a skill to deliver and do. Like now you're actually doing. You're not trying. You're not learning. You're actually doing. And at that point, we're almost equals. I'll still be your boss, but you will be in a different mindset, in a different world. You won't be filthy, stinking rich, but you'll be better off. You'll be self-sufficient. You're doing something that you love. And of course, you have the freedom of time and place. You will have the freedom of time and place. And 5 years after that, I think you'll be filthy stinking rich. Whatever that means, by the way. Okay? And along the way, I think you'll need guidance too, because it's really funny as you transition through these periods. Once you have money, it's interesting what happens. And you don't want to be left alone. So like when you become a professional basketball player in the NBA, one of the things you go through is like counseling, psychological counseling to do with fame, counseling to do with working with media, counseling to work with the team and the coaches and the ownership staff, and coaching on financial management. You're not just like, welcome to the NBA. We're glad you're 18 years old and you're a hell of a basketball player. Don't screw up that $26 million a year. What are you talking about? You come from zero to $26 million a year? What kind of 20-year-old could screw that up? All of them. Okay? So anyway, so that's all part of it. So my vision right now, not just for this 5 years and then the following 5 years, then the following 5 years after that, then after that I might only have 5 more years. So really, the next 5 years is the first step of the next 20 years for me. And I think many of you are going to go on this journey with me. 20 years from now, we'll be hanging out on a beach in Malaysia, thinking about what a cool ride that was. Right? Or you'll get a job and hope they match your 401k. And you're super happy they're paying $1,000 a month for your health benefits. Okay? Cool. So let's do some gold and then maybe some Bitcoin and we'll get out of here. Okay? But, guys, I think at some point you're going to know how to do this. Like every time when I look at these charts, I'm like, I hope you're getting these trades. I mean, oh my God. So anyways, are you a bull on gold? Is gold going up? What's the reason behind it? We think, at least in the past, there was central bank buying to devalue their currencies. Right now, I think that's over. I think this is just people buying because it was going up, but whatever. So what was the last period? Let's just double check this. Okay, last week, guess what? It held up on top of the M2, waiting for the daily 21 to tickle its bottom, and now it's going up. So some people are logging in going, should I buy this now? And I'm like, where the F were you? This is clearly riding a 21. This is clearly the buy pivot. If you're a bull, you're on this Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I don't know. What do you do now? Well, everything is so late, I'm not sure what you do. So maybe you got to drop in and start day trading this sucker, right? So let's move in. And Friday, you had an easy day trade long. And then it opened out a position, and there's nothing to do today. I mean, the one thing, sorry, the London Open would have been the role reversal. And that's that. So what do you do now? Nothing. Dude, you missed today, London Open. You missed Friday, which is Asia Open, on top of this being the key sort of monthly trade. So what do you do now? I don't know what you do now. Now you got to wait, I guess. You need this to go up and then come down and up. But if you're missing these things, but you consider yourself a gold trader, you missed the monthly setup, you missed the weekly setup, and now you may have missed the daily setup. So if you're asking, what do you do now? I don't know what you're doing. Okay? So that's a bit of a bitch slap, and I mean, it's just, there isn't anything left for me to say right now, except Your trades should all be at break even, and you're hoping like crazy this is going to make a higher high off the weekly plan. Okay. So now you're like, maybe, and you got to go back, and this is why I use Confluence, but maybe you get something like this in Asia. Okay. And that's your Shanghai Open trade. That's your Asia Fade trade. That's your basic day trading. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I on silver? It doesn't matter to me. Sorry. Okay. Okay. So that's that. Silver, silver, gold, gold. Sorry. I forgot that we threw silver down, so I just see the X, and I think. And oil. I mean, you have to decide, are you bull or not? Biddy. I guess you guys like Biddy, so we can do some Bitcoin. Okay. You know what we need here? We need a linear regression channel. What do you stink? Huh? Kicks ass, huh? Boom! Watch this, buddy. Boom! Okay, now we gotta set this up. Linear regression. Has anyone tried to explain linear regression to people lately? Has anyone done the speech to someone else like, oh, well, you know, y equals mx plus b, m is the slope, b is the intercept. Has anyone done that speech to, or you're like, no, that's just you, Wayne? Yeah, Minute Action has done. You're like, well, of course, m is the slope, and slope being rise over run, right? Yeah, it's all math. Yeah, cool. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. All right, cool. So, what are you, a bull or a bear on Bitcoin? Yeah, Solato Club. Yeah, they got what they needed. Yeah. Okay. Well, in this time frame, it's not quite ready for bearishness. So if you're a bear, I'd be thinking this. If I was a bull, I'd be thinking off the bottom, right? You throw in a pivot point theory, and you knew last week that 11,300 was your buy. Okay. And that was your basic plan. And then you see that folds into this plan where the bears are. So that makes sense. So once again, there's a Friday front run. I think the market opened too hot. Yeah, it gapped up. So it's out of position. Maybe on a 4-hour, you can catch a 21. But that's not going to happen for a while. Okay. So let me also tell you, okay, if you were a bull, last week when you were at this double bottom, this pivot was here. Does anyone remember that? Here says 21 million BTC in the world. I'm a bull. Yeah, I'm a bull too. Not because of that, but you understand? Because remember, high, low, close, but it closed high. Higher, well, not higher, but higher than the low. So it pulled this pivot up. Okay. So that should have been part of your alpha. Bears didn't sell it here, but if this drops, you still have to acknowledge that this isn't good for you if it drops and you're a bull. But maybe you can get a bigger pullback. You know, obviously this 11.5 number will be interesting, and then the 11.3 will be interesting. Although I think if it goes to 11.3, it's not going to play the pivot. It'll play the triple bottom. But I think the next big number for you as a bull is right here, 11.5. Okay, and I think this is going to line up with a 4-hour 21. Okay, so watch this. You ready? So let me draw this out like this for you. Okay, now the 4-hour 21. Let me zoom in. Okay, and that's going to kind of line up a little bit. Cool. So we did gold. Well, no, we did silver. We did Bitcoin. We did a little bit of WTI. We did a bunch of yen pairs, a bunch of dollar pairs. Is there anything else that I can help you with today? Yeah, we can do some exotics. Sure, let's do some exotics. Do I have them here? Yes, I do. Thank you, metatraders.com. Cool. Oh, look, I got sell zones on here. All right, cool. So let's go to Rand. Where is it? Okay, let's do Rand. Cool. Let's see if this is set up properly. Yeah, nice. So there's no bearish trade at the moment based on daily pivots. Let's just double check the indicator. I'll set it up to, oh, those are weeklies. We're even through the weekly. Huh. Thought it was day trading. Take a look at monthly. $17, huh? Well, let me throw down a confluence. Not really happy with any of the setups. I mean, look, okay, well, one issue is it's a perfect bullish trade, but I'm bearish on the US dollar, so I filtered that out. So the next trade, it's a little high. So you got this R in here, which would do an R1, S1. The next one would be up higher off of this zone. But that's too high. So yeah, I don't really like it. It's a little convoluted. I see the price action going, but it doesn't mean I have to like it. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So I don't know how you want to play it. Maybe just ultra short time frames. So here we go. There's the R1, S1 play. It's almost like I have to wait till tomorrow, or at least trade it like it's tomorrow. So, right? You see this? So I only want to sell this. Well, you have to be careful. Like, yes, fib is good, but fib isn't a reason, right? You don't sell it because it's a 618. You would sell it because 618 and a reversal, because a reversal occurred at a 618. Well, if I already have a reason, like if I already have R1 here and it rolls over and it's a 618, it doesn't add any more value. But it's a ratio, right? And in similar fashion is a pivot is a ratio. So really what we all, if we want to be honest with ourselves, it has more to do with the 17 cycle level. So I can only sell this. I recognize there's a downtrend. I recognize we're probably in the, the 7th inning of this play for now, because this has been going on for a while. You see? So if it rolls over, remember I'm filtering everything else out. I'm not a buyer. This is a perfect buy, but I don't want to buy it. I see this as a roll reversal. I see that as a roll reversal. I see this as resistance. If you want to throw in a 618 fib, I see that as resistance. I see the 17 as resistance. So as a bear now, I'm simply waiting to observe a reversal. I'd rather it happen sooner than later. And if then, for example, if it did roll over at 1690, I'm selling it off tomorrow's M3. So I'm not even treating it like a daily R. I'm actually trading it off tomorrow's M3. Okay. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm not quite ready, I guess, is what I'm saying. So we have to watch and observe. But these are the prices right, that I'd consider for that. Cool. All right, so let's save some dry powder for tomorrow. If you need my chart templates like I just installed earlier this morning, that's metatraders.com. Allows you $5. It gives you everything that you've seen so far today, including the bias pivots. A link to my book is in the description below. A link to the training courses at FX Bootcamp are in the description below. A link to Trader's Way so you can open an account or get a demo account and download MT4. That description's in the link below. That link is in the description below. If you're joining my live trading group that meets on Thursdays in the War Room, you have to sign up for the courses at FX Bootcamp, and then unlock that section. Okay. So, anyways. Wayne did these years ago. Go watch it. Right, cool. Yeah, I mean. Wayne, can you recommend the website where I can buy your book? The link is in the description below. It's a little company called Amazon.com. Okay. So, right on. So, peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May our profits be above average. Take care, y'all. All y'all. It was real. I got to jump, babe.